penultimate home game of the 2016 season. Brendan Gulick and Dave Bird alongside you here as we get ready for tonight's matchup between UMES and Florida A&M. Welcome inside our pregame show. Dave, the Hawks are coming off their third straight win on a 61-55 homecoming victory over South Carolina State on Saturday. Really a really impressive effort from them, especially from CeCe Byram. Not because she scored a bunch of points. It was not one of her better scoring games of the year, just 17. But she got in foul trouble, and what she did late was the way she adjusted, I guess I should say late, really made a big difference. She was recognized as the MEAC Player of the Week this week.
Yes, but you haven't been here but 1 year, and this seems to be a trend of Coach Fred Batchelor, that he always has his teams prepared heading into the MEAC tournament, and we seem to be playing well at the right time. And it comes when your guards are playing well. So Byram is a freshman. Obviously, both freshmen played extremely well the other night. And when the freshmen start playing well at this time of the year, I don't know if we call them freshmen and a half or whatever, but they've grown emotionally, they've grown a little bit physically, they've grown mentally, the most important, and they learn how to play the game at the college Division I level. And that's what's happening right now. We hope that continues tonight.
Fred mentioned in his pregame interview that about half dozen games ago or so, he said, we were kind of mentally checked out. He goes, our girls, they just weren't as interested. And he said, look, we've still got a handful of games left the rest of the year. We can go out, play well, make a difference, and make a run at this conference title. We're good enough to do it. We've beaten some of the better teams in the conference. We just got to stay focused. And I don't know if it was exactly after that message was given, but it certainly wasn't long after things started to shift.
Sure, that's absolutely correct. And I'm sure he probably pulled out a little history and shown the past, like last year's run in the MEAC tournament, and some of the girls that are now seniors playing on this team probably jogged their memory a little bit and said that it can be done.
Hawks are getting ready tonight on their home floor for a makeup game against Florida A&M. This contest was supposed to have been played about a month ago, but when Winter Storm Jonas rolled through on Monday, January 25th, the game had been canceled. So that's why we're playing basketball here tonight. As we preview tonight's game between Florida A&M and Maryland Eastern Shore. But first, a timeout, and we'll hear from head coach Fred Batchelor when we return. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFMSports.net.
Do you need a break, a getaway? Plan a visit to Hyatt Place Dewey Beach in Delaware. Lay back, relax with your toes in the sand, and unwind to the sounds of the ocean. Please your palate with a delicious meal at Cape Hossa Restaurant on the Bay while taking in the sights of a beautiful sunset. It's time to get away and make that getaway to the Hyatt Place Dewey Beach. Call 302-864-9100 or visit HyattPlaceDeweyBeach.com. Make a lifetime of memories in your own backyard at Hyatt Place Dewey Beach. That's Hyatt Place Dewey Beach on Facebook and Instagram.
Peninsula Regional Medical Center is proud to be recognized as a national healthcare leader, delivering exceptional healthcare by exceptional people. The professional staff at PRMC is equipped to handle most injuries and illnesses that are non-life-threatening and can deliver immediate medical attention without an appointment. To get more information and up to the second wait times, visit peninsula.org. PRMC, proud to be the official healthcare provider of the UMES Hawks.
This is Hawks basketball from SFMSports.net.
Back in our pregame show this evening before Fred Batchelor's Lady Hawks of Maryland Eastern Shore take the court for the second to last time at home this season, their third to last regular season game hosting Florida A&M. Coach, it's a rescheduled game tonight, but it doesn't really throw your rhythm off too much because you're used to playing Saturday, Monday. That being said, you haven't seen Florida A&M this year, the only team in conference that's the case. What do you like about the way they play?
They're tough. They can score. They have posts that can hit the three. They extend their defense. They're really tough in transition. They're a fun team to watch. And when they get it going, they're a very tough team to beat.
offensively, this is probably the best you guys have looked all year. You've won 3 games in a row in the conference. Obviously, Stacey Byram has a lot to do with that. But from a team chemistry standpoint on the floor, what are you seeing as this team is starting to gel?
That they want to continue to play. That's the biggest part around this time of year. We talk a lot about the fact that I think about 2/3 of teams in our league really they wish the season was over at this point. And 2 weeks ago, so did we. And I had to challenge them with the fact that, we had 6 games to go. Let's make the most of it, because at the end of the day, when it's all gone and over, you're going to wish you did. And I think they've taken advantage of it. We've been fortunate enough to pull out some games and play well, that we feel good about ourselves. And when you're feeling like that, it's like watching a good movie. You never want it to end. And I think where we are now, we're playing good enough basketball that we want to continue to play.
Well, you're tied for 6th place in the conference. The team in 5th place is your opponent tonight. Even though you have played 1 game more than they have at this point, the schedule will even out by the end of the year. And given you only play them once, it's a chance to, to take the regular season series, if you will, in that one spot. So what's one big key tonight that you need to do if you want to win this game?
We need to convert inside on the offensive end. The fact that our posts are much bigger when we are deeper in the post position and size, we need to finish in the post and take advantage of that. And on the defensive end, we have to locate their shooters in transition and make it real difficult for them to get space and knock down threes.
Lexi Udoji recently broke the school career block record, and because of some statistical issues, that was only made 100% official on this past ball game on Saturday night. So now that it is written in stone, if you will, I'd love it if you could share a thought on what she's meant to your program.
This is great. It's a great accomplishment for her. It's a great accomplishment for our program. This is the 3rd shot blocking leader we've had in our tenure here. So, as much as you're happy for them, you look at them breaking other kids' records that you coach, like Christy Velkamp and Adobe Abassi, and then we have Alexis Udoji. So, I'm really happy for her. I think she's an extraordinary talent, and I think this is just one way that she affects the game on the defensive end, but I don't think people realize all the other things that she does. And that's why she was voted Defensive Player of the Year, not just because of her ability to block shots, but because of her ability to change the game on the defensive end.
There's lots of different storylines that media members and fans like to follow throughout the course of the year, and a lot of them are based on statistics. What is one of your favorite stories about a player on this team that maybe people don't know about?
That's interesting. I looked at stats a lot last year and was surprised at some of them. The one that sticks out to me the most is Terriana Kelly and her field goal percentage. She's going to go down as one of the top players in the history of the program to shoot over 50% from the field. And for someone who's played for 4 years, that's an extraordinary feat. And a lot of that is because she's so unselfish at kicking the ball out and doesn't take bad shots. So that's the first one that comes to mind, is that kind of strategic, that stat right there, because I think it says more about her being unselfish than it does. And when we talk about stats, it's mostly about what people accomplish because of what they do. I think it's because of what she doesn't do, and that's take bad shots.
Excellent insight. We appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, we'll have more after this timeout. This is the Hawk Sports Network on SFMSports.net.
In a perfect world, every meal would be at Buffalo Wild Wings. Until then, we've got takeout. So now you can bring our hand-spun wings with 16 signature sauces and 5 seasonings with you. And the minute we figure out how to fit over 50 big screens into the trunk of your car, we'll let you know.
Takeout for any party, any size. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Your Salisbury B-Dubs is in the North Point Plaza on Route 13. Your Salisbury Buffalo Wild Wings, the only place for wings, beer, sports.
This is Hawks basketball from SFMSports.net.
Let's give you the starting lineups for tonight's game between Florida A&M and UMES. First for the visiting Rattlers, led by head coach LaDawn Gibson in her 8th year. They're 14-11, 8-4 in conference play. At guard, Victoria Wynn, a junior from Winchester, Massachusetts. Junior from Conyers, Georgia, Jasmine Robertson. A senior guard from Fort Lauderdale, Khadijah Young. A junior forward from West Palm Beach, Florida, Alicia McCrae. And their star player is senior forward from Minneapolis, Olivia Antilla. For the Lady Hawks, led by Fred Batchelor, whose group is 9-16 this year. They are 7-6 in the MEAC. At guard, a 5'5 freshman from Winston-Salem, Siani Byram. At guard, a 5'8 freshman from Winston-Salem, Kiera Eaton. At forward, a graduate student from Randolph, Massachusetts, Lexi Udoji. At center, a 6'3 senior from North Brunswick, New Jersey, Tiriana Kelly. And at guard, a redshirt sophomore from New Zealand, Moy Sabritsky. Again, the Hawks are 7-6 in the MEAC. Rattlers are 8-4. Our officials today, Eddie Gray, Stephanie Barksdale, and Fidel Gonzalez. It's our Play for Cancer Day. Both teams are wearing lots of pink, though the public address announcement was one that encouraged all different kinds of cancer awareness. And you'll notice that the Lady Hawks all have gold sparkling shoelaces on to remember and recognize those victims of pediatric cancer. Dave, how about a big key to the game?
We also have a lot of gray here, too. We just did a gray game. That's a part of cancer also. So it's a big night here, and there's a lot of different colors with shoes and socks. The biggest part of the game is these teams are pretty well in the middle of the MEAC conference standings at this point, with Florida A&M with a little bit better record. So we're going to see how the Hawks stand up against a team that's just above them in the playoffs. I think the best play is how good our guards play again tonight.
Personally, I've got pink and black on today. I want to remember Chuck Bush, a family friend of mine who passed away just last week from melanoma. So that's the reason for black here this afternoon. Lexi Udoji wins the opening tip. In fact, nobody for the Rattlers even jumped. They just backpedaled defensively. All right, interesting strategy. It turns into an easy bucket as we're underway. As Byram threw it to Kelly underneath, she couldn't have been more wide open. It was almost as if Florida A&M didn't know the game was going to start. So here we go with a 2-0 lead already.
Good start for Kelly. Coach Baxter told us about her percentage from the floor. She just upgraded that on that first pass.
McCray, who did jump center, or I should say stood there, gives over to the underneath side. Win back to McCray, right wing. She rumbles through the paint, bumps somebody, put up a shot that was well off the mark. 2-0 Hawks. They're on offense over on the left-hand side of the floor, moving left to right, and an early turnover as CeCe Byram overshot Moy Sabritsky. Antilla, the team's leading scorer, 15 points per game. She's also one of their better rebounders at just under 5 a day. You'll also see a lot of Kadirja Young. She likes to be called KD, so we'll call her Katie just to keep things simple. 14.5 points per game, almost 7.5 rebounds per game for Young as well. She shoots well from the floor, 50% from Ms. Young. So those are probably their two best players.
And they're seniors, so they've had plenty of MEAC experience.
Florida A&M, they are in pink jerseys, pink shorts, trimmed in gray, and it says Florida above the number on the front, A&M below it. In that low post, a nice little move from Antilla, but the right-hand floater did not go in. The ball goes out of bounds. Our officials today are also using pink whistles, and our game ball was delivered by Kevin Campbell, a cancer survivor and a member of the athletic department here at UMES. Not entirely sure what's going on, but
he's
something
examining the game ball. I'm not so sure what's going on. And we got a good one. I hope it's not a men's ball. Could be. We've done that before. I've done that before.
No, the way he let it bounce on the ground there, it almost
flat. Do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe it might have been just a little bit underinflated. So they're going to try to find a new rock to play with.
We got plenty of them over there in the corner. So.
How about the Hawks right now? They're on a 3-game winning streak, looking awfully good. And they've got to close the season on a high note if possible. Florida A&M's a good team. They beat Delaware State a couple weeks ago. They've also got a chance to play Morgan State again and avenge a home overtime loss. I think these 3 games at the tail end of the season could really make or break things for the Lady Hawks.
And it could put us in a 6-game winning streak headed into the MEAC tournament and bump us up a little bit in the conference standings.
I don't know if I'd want to play a team that's won 6 in a row entering the tournament.
No.
Byram gets a high screen for the Lady Hawks, passes to Eaton in the left corner. Here's a 3-ball, and it's good.
Well, that's a good ball that Coach Bachelor got out of that bucket for him.
5-0 Lady Hawks. They go back defensively, matching up one-on-one individually. Antilla lobs it in the middle of the paint. McCray, great bounce pass to Win, and she finished from the right block. Well-designed play. 5-2, first bucket for the Lady Rattlers. UMES in the forecourt, over on the left wing as Byram stares at the rim, goes back to the right-hand side and passes left. Here's Eaton circling around, finds CeCe Byram runs once more. Byram gets a high screen left side, used it from Udoji, popped to 3, missed it short. The long rebound rolls toward that right corner. It's picked up by Wynn. Here come the Rattlers flying up the left wing. Wynn all the way up the floor. Lost the ball under the basket. It touched the paint out of bounds.
Yeah, not a best shot there on offense for the Lady Hawks. Be a little more patient. I think we got a huge size advantage down inside with Udozie and Kelly at this time. If we're patient, we can take advantage of that size.
It's interesting. The Hawks have been so guard-oriented this year because they've had a post-size advantage against most of the teams they've played in the conference as Udozie misses a jump shot from the free throw line. 5-2 Lady Hawks. We've played 2.5 minutes.
And that's back-to-back, not very good shots.
Antilla from the top of the arc threw it into the paint, and it's picked up by a Lady Hawk. Another turnover for the Lady Rattlers here early on. They've been a little sloppy with the ball. Hawks have it with Subritsky controlling overhead right wing. Decides to dribble with a left-hand dribble through the paint, up and in. Reverse layup. Nice job for Subritsky, 7-2, her first basket.
I think we can take advantage of inside if we go there.
Wynn, hesitation dribble through the right wing all the way to the rim and missed the layup. The Lady Hawks a little sloppy grabbing the rebound, and it rolls toward midcourt, picked up by the pink jerseys. Here's Antilla, top of the arc, 3 ball, way up in the air, and it splashed down. 7-5. That ball almost hit the speaker system.
And over top Udozie at that, her 6'4" frame with long wingspan.
I guess she has to shoot it that high with
you're right.
Lexi's hand in her face. 3 minutes into the game, Hawks by 2. Subritsky on the right wing wants to drive baseline, well defended by Wynn. Moy picks up her dribble and works around the perimeter. This is Moy once more after passing off to Kelly in the right corner. Back to Kelly from the right elbow. She looked out of sync, shooting a jump shot, missed it short. Subritsky, the offensive rebound, missed the layup, got it again. Moy pulls it back out. A third opportunity for the Lady Hawks.
Good hustle by Subritsky that time on the offensive glass.
Byram with a great feed underneath, and Udogie's reverse layup spun in. Everybody in the pink jerseys, the Florida A&M Lady Rattlers, everybody had their head turned the wrong way, and Byram recognized it quickly.
Reverse layup by Udozie.
4 different Hawks have scored here in the opening quarter. It's 9-5 UMES. We are almost 4 minutes in. Wynn dribbling at the top of the arc with her left hand, passes back to the right side. Robertson on her way, can't hit from about 8 feet out. Byram pulled down the rebound as it went along the baseline. I guess touched out just before Byram touched the ball. So a substitution now as Wynn checks out of the game, and London Holland, the freshman guard from McKinney, Texas, will enter. Not a lot of bodies on the Florida A&M roster. In fact, they've got just 10 here today. One additional player, a sophomore that did not travel, and an offensive foul under the basket on the Lady Hawks. Leading scorer of late, CeCe Byram.
Just a little too deep. Good pass. We made a basket. Just got a little too deep underneath the basket.
First foul of the ball game. Hawks lead by 4 at the 5:45 mark of our opening quarter. If you joined us a little late, it's game 1 of our doubleheader here tonight, Monday night in the MEAC. Antilla from just south of the free throw line had a tipped pass toward the left corner. She got it right back and now works the right half of the floor. Robertson raises from the right elbow and did not connect. Robertson, a long rebound. Boy, that ball was hit off the iron on that half of the floor and typically shot back out. So some offensive life here for Florida A&M on second chances. McCray wants to make a move, spinning through the right side of the paint, and she traveled. Mariana Kelly defended it.
Good defense by the Lady Hawks. Person-to-person defense, not allowing any penetration to the basket at this point.
That's the third turnover by Florida A&M here in the early going. Hawks have given it away 3 times as well. Subritsky was a little quiet on the offensive end in Saturday's game, but she's definitely got the ability to put up big numbers. Byram has it, wants to slice through the left side of the paint, missed the open layup after ducking through 2 defenders. Hawks by 4, Rattlers running. Right corner, holding the ball, finding a way inside, and hitting a basket. Ms. McCray.
A little give and go by the Rattlers that time for an easy layup. We miss a layup, they come down and make one. That's not a good scenario.
9-7 Maryland Eastern Shore at the 4:28 mark. Udogie finds Eaton on the left wing. They're clearly not worried about Lexi shooting it deep. Sabritsky back up top to Udoji, and then once more to Siani Byram. 7 to shoot. Byram, left-hand dribble, right wing, circles back, and an offensive foul on Udoji with just 4 on the shot clock. Plexi, an illegal screen, and that'll bring us to our first media timeout of the ballgame. The Hawks have a 9-7 lead over Florida A&M here on their home floor. We are still early in the contest. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFNSports.net.
Delmarva Power has 2 new ways for customers to save money and energy this summer.
There is always something on in our house.
Washer, dryer, and in the summertime, the air conditioner.
The Peak Energy Savings Credit is a hands-on way for all customers to save money and energy. When a peak savings day happens, make simple changes like waiting a few hours before doing laundry, using a barbecue grill, and more to earn bill credits. We'll even notify you the night before a peak savings day so you'll be ready to save.
I'm always looking for ways to save.
Energy Wise Rewards is the automatic way for customers to save money and energy. Automatic works for me.
On a peak savings day, your central air conditioner or your heat pump will be automatically cycled off and on for short periods. And the difference in temperature is just a few degrees, so you can stay comfortable. So sign up and get started saving today.
We know that people want to save.
Visit delmarva.com/peak to learn more.
This is Hawks basketball from SFMSports.net.
Monday night basketball in the MEAC continues here midway through the first quarter. Maryland Eastern Shore on their home floor with a 9-7 lead over Florida A&M. Brendan Gulick, Dave Bird along with you. It's the third to last game of the regular season. That's hard to believe. UMES has played fairly well in conference of late. They've got their record up to 7-6 today. So far, few too many turnovers with 4 already. 3 of them from Siani Byram. She hasn't scored yet, but the rest of the offense has clicked well. They've hit 4 of 9 shots at the outset. In the left corner, Antillo looking around and dishes over to KD Young. Back to Antillo left corner. Once more, Young up top. Young against his zone defense this time from Regine Martin and the Hawks. Young through the right lane, missed the layup.
I think Kelly may have got a piece of that time. Good change of defense for Fred Batchelor out of the timeout.
Alexis Hicks is in the ball game in place of the freshman guard, CC Byron. Martin passes toward the left corner. It was a high pass and intercepted. 3-on-3. Young dishes toward the baseline. Here's Robertson. Banks it off the rim and the backboard, and it didn't fall in.
Good hustle by Kelly to get the rebound off of the floor.
Hawks by a pair. Martin in the left corner, circles around toward the free throw line and passes right corner. Now circling back to the middle of the floor, Kira Eaton finds Terriana Kelly for a jump shot, missed it. Rebound Regine Martin. Here's Hicks for a left wing 3. Off the back of the iron. Soft rebound picked away by Martin. Back to the top of the floor. Martin earning her playing time here this afternoon.
Great hustle that time. Just picked her pocket.
Sabritsky from between the circles, slices through the paint, passes left corner for an open Eaton triple, and she's got another from the same spot on the floor.
She's anchored in that left-hand corner waiting for that pass from the guard.
12-7 our score. It stays that way after Antilla misses a high-arcing 3 from the left wing in transition for Florida A&M. Hawks by 5.
No full-court pressure by Florida A&M.
Martin a triple, right side. Hit it! 3 of them in the early going. 15-7 Lady Hawks.
We're lighting it up from behind the three-point line.
Hawks in that 1-3-1 zone look. Ball in the left corner for Florida A&M. Back to the top of the arc as Robertson surveys the defense. A couple of quick short passes and then a backdoor cut. Kenya Dixon couldn't get there. The ball goes out of bounds. We think it's going to stay with FAMU.
It looks like it. They are setting up for out of bounds underneath their own basket.
Victoria Wynn back on the floor. She replaces Jasmine Robertson. Hawks by 8, 10 to shoot. 2 minutes left first quarter. Looking around, needing some help, and a 5-second inbound violation. Nice job by Kira Eaton to get all up in her drill.
Yeah, I like that. I like the defense we're playing here today so far, Brendan. We got a little enthusiasm on the defensive end, and obviously we're shooting the lights out of it from three-point land. That continues. That's a That's two good positives right away.
Taylor Thompson in the ball game for the first time with Eaton. Hicks, who's double teamed, finds Martin, and Sabritsky now right wing. Into the right corner. Martin wants to go along the baseline, sidesteps a couple defenders, a couple passes toward the left corner, and a foul called as Alexis Hicks tried to make a move toward the key.
Sabritsky was wide open for a three that time before the whistle.
Goes on KD Young. First foul of the game on Florida A&M. 1:44 left in the opening quarter. Lady Hawks, with back-to-back triples, have built themselves an 8-point lead. Hicks inbounded the ball and got it right back from Taylor Thompson. Alexis standing at the top of the three-point line, trying to decide where to go. Tried the left. That didn't work. Passed it back up top to Thompson. Still 15 seconds to get off a shot for the Lady Hawks. The Bachelor hand on his hips as he's looking around offensively. Alexis has it at the top of the arc. Gets a screen from Taylor. Throws toward the right side. Sabritsky caught a slow pass. Put up the shot a little off balance and missed the three ball. Florida A&M up the floor, feeling a little bit of pressure, but they got around it. Holland on the left wing bounces back to Dixon. Now Wynn throws it to the right side, and Antilla back to Dixon. Three ball left side. Too strong off the back of the rim. Long rebound gives the Hawks a transition play. Eaton underneath, forced it up. No foul called. Contact, but no whistle. All the way the other direction. Flipping it behind her head as Wynn faded away from the bucket. She missed the layup, and her teammate could not hit the putback. Young was right there and missed from point-blank range. We've got 37 seconds left in the opening quarter. Some furious fast break attempts, but nothing fell through.
Both teams full speed ahead, but not a lot of scoring, but a lot of action up and down the floor.
A suspect traveling call against Kara Eaton, and she'll leave the floor along with Alexis Hicks. Byram and Udoji are back for the final 30.1 here in the second quarter. The shot clock is still on, but it's essentially a non-factor.
It's just A&M's decision whether to hold for the last shot or go for it. It looks like to me they're planning on holding. Hawks in a little matchup zone this time. I'm sure they're going to take the cutter through the middle of it.
Florida A&M has hit just 3 of 13 shots here in the opening quarter. From the right side, Young looking around, kicks to the corner, open three from Howland, no. Offensive rebound, Dixon, she missed the putback. 4 seconds left in the quarter, and the Hawks will chuck it up from way downtown, but no chance that was going to go in. So UMES, with great defense in that opening frame, allowed Florida A&M then to just shoot 3 of 15 after those 2 late first quarter misses. After one, it's UMES 15 and Florida A&M 7. This is the Hawks Sports Network from SFMSports.net.
The Hampton Inn & Suites Fruitland Salisbury South is passionate about getting it right. Their promise to you includes a clean, comfortable hotel room, located only 7.5 miles from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Also conveniently located within walking distance of 5 different restaurants, plus a shuttle service that can take you back and forth to the campus. Hampton Inn & Suites, an official hotel of UMES Athletics.
The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. 13 institutions, all striving as one to excel in the classroom and on the field. A premier Division I conference with 16 sponsored sports, showcasing the talents and strengths of our student athletes through hard work and perseverance. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Second quarter action from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and it's 15-7 UMES. Florida A&M is facing a scoring drought of nearly 4.5 minutes. They haven't put the ball in the bucket since midway through that first quarter. We'll see how they come out here in quarter number 2. Red Bachelor's group up by 8. McCray in the high right side of the key gives off. Young right next to her, and now backpedals. Looking into the low post, trying to post up for Antilla, and a great defensive play by Thompson. Maybe a little nudge from behind, but she got mostly ball.
The guys in stripes, or ladies in stripes also, are letting him play.
Sabritsky has it at the top of the arc. Between the circles, CC Byram now holds. Hawks by 8. CC, the reigning conference player of the week. Couple of big 20-point efforts last week. Sabritsky now left corner three. Too strong. Weak side rebound pulled in by Wynn. Then she lost the ball out of bounds, but Taylor Thompson was the one to flick it away. Lady Rattlers trailing by 8, and their scoring drought continues. Off the inbound, Wynn fouled in the backcourt by Regine Martin, her first.
If the Hawks could take advantage of this scoring drought, they would be well ahead of A&M at this time. This is following a familiar pattern we've seen also, where the Hawks got off early and then the other team crept back in for second half.
Only player for either team with more than one basket, Kira Eaton. She's got 2 threes. Circling through Antilla. Great backdoor bounce pass to McCray, who missed it from right underneath the hoop. Hawks lead by 8.
Taylor Thompson again with I think she got her hands on the basketball.
Maybe just a little bit.
Person-to-person defense by the Rattlers.
Byram passes left corner to Martin. Regine looks to the high key. The ball goes through untouched. Picked up by Sabritsky on the right half of the floor. 7 to shoot. Moy in the right corner. Up top to Byram once more. Now 3 to get a shot off. Cece circles around, goes hard to the rack, and had it stripped right out of her hands. A shot clock violation. Tip your cap to Alicia McCray. Great defense.
She grabbed it right out of her hand.
That UMES turnover is their 6th. Hawks lead it by 8. No one scored yet here in the second quarter. We've played almost 2 full minutes. Young takes her time, passes left side to Ms. London Holland. And then a foul in the paint away from the basketball. It goes on Udoji. She just picked up her second. Terriana Kelly back in the floor. Lexi Udoji has a seat, the program's new all-time leader in blocked shots. Congratulations to her. On the inbound, a nice, easy layup for Alicia McCray.
That's too easy.
Came from the high side of the key, went right down the left side of the paint, caught the ball and laid it in. So finally a basket here in the second quarter. Comes 2 full minutes in. But the Hawks still lead it by 6 as Sabritsky goes to the free throw line, passes behind her to the right block. Kelly redirects to the right corner for a Byram 3. It missed, and a foul there on the rebound.
I think she got it on. Thompson's called for the foul.
Interesting. Taylor picks up her first. That's the 3rd foul on UMES in the second quarter. And Fred Batchelor stands there and wants an explanation. Fred looks awfully sharp today. White shirt, gray suit, pink pocket square, and a beautifully tied pink bow tie.
That's right. He's always decked out, Brendan.
McCray dribbles off her foot. Thankfully, it went to a teammate. Antilla in the right corner, spinning down toward the paint. Put it up, but they called the shot. No good, because they said a foul was hit ahead of time. Foul is on Terriana Kelly. That's her first. And the Hawks just pick up their 4th foul in the opening 2.5 minutes of our third quarter. Off the inbound, Antilla never controlled it, and the Hawks pulled it away. Sabritsky dribbles up the right side, sees an opening, and explodes toward it, and circles back to the top. She wants to give the ball to Byram, and it's thrown away. Another sloppy mistake. Holland looking for some help from Antilla. The ball was kicked and rolled out of bounds, and it stays with the ladies in pink.
Both teams a little sloppy with the basketball today, Brendan. And
that's kind.
I don't know if it's a Sunday break or whatever, but both teams have been going up down the floor. A lot of action, a lot of sweat, but no baskets.
Hawks by 6 on defense off to our left. Florida A&M at the top of the arc. Working left wing. McCray passes into the corner. Young raises. Missed it. Checked that. It was Antilla that raised and missed. The ball goes out of bounds after the rebound fell straight down and everybody went scurrying for it. Antilla shoots that three-point shot so high, unless it's perfectly on target, it's naturally going to hit the rim and then bounce hard one direction or another just because it's got the gravity of coming down. I mean, truly, I'm not exaggerating. It's the highest shot I've probably seen someone take consistently all year.
And she's far out also, so that baby's going to bounce back at least, you bet, 30 feet.
Kelly Hard move in the paint. Kicks out for a Thompson triple. Just off the mark. But Craig, good box out. She clears it. Here's FAMU up the right wing, down by 6. Hawks are still scoreless in the second quarter. An Antilla 3-ball. That one swirled its way through. Olivia Antilla is 2 of 4 from deep. She's got 6 points. UMES 15, Florida A&M 12. It was 15-7 at the end of the first quarter. And we are almost 4 full minutes into the second quarter. Thompson a little out of control with the dribble into the paint. Missed the runner. And then a foul on Florida A&M has LaDawn Gibson, the 8th-year head coach, scratching her head and verbally making her presence known. First foul on Alicia McCray. That was an awfully high-pitched what? I'm not going to try to get that high.
No, you can't do it. And she's decked out in pink also. And by the way, the entire Florida A&M squad has got pink uniforms.
I mean, they look like their bench looks like a rainbow. They've got yellow shirts, a yellow sweater, green jump pullovers on the pink jerseys. Yeah. There's a young lady over there in a light blue colored dress. Beautiful colors, but a whole smorgasbord. Hicks puts up a left corner 3. Alexis Hicks with her first 3-pointer of the game. Hawks lead it by 6. FAMU up the floor. Can't hit a transition basket. And a kickball in the paint keeps it with the Lady Rattlers. 18-12, UMES. 5:53 left in the first half.
First 3 points of the second quarter on a 3 from that left-hand corner on the baseline. That's 3 pointers we shot from that area.
London Holland checks out. Jasmine Robertson back in. Off the inbound. Robertson threw it away. Eaton pulls it away with a steal. 5:44 and counting here in the first half. Sabritsky and company not shooting the ball well this afternoon. 7 of 20 as Moy goes hard to the rack, chucks it up, and got harmed. She'll shoot a couple.
That's only the second foul on the Lady Raptors in the first half.
Foul goes on Dawn King, the sophomore from Texas, and it sends Sabritsky to the line. Moy, one of the better free throw shooters for UMES, and she hits her first. Sabritsky's had some games this year that have really made you go, wow. Had 21 about a week and a half ago at Delaware State. Second free throw up. That one missed too strong. Hawks by 7, 5.5 to play, second quarter. UMES on defense off to our left. Young, I should say, King in the right corner, gives up top. This is Robertson passing left side. King once more with her hair pulled back behind her head. Lobs into the right corner. Having trouble penetrating. Robertson passes back into the corner. King to the right block. A turnaround hook shot up and in for Olivia Antilla. Nice little baseline move, and Antilla has a team-high 8 points, 19-14 at the 5-minute mark. Byram slowly feeding things into the paint. Here's Kelly exploding to the hoop, up and one.
That was a great take by Kelly that time. Down the right side of the lane, off the right hand part of the basket, and got the foul. She got a great chance to get 3 points the old-fashioned way after a timeout.
Timeout on the floor with 4:50 left in our opening half. It's UMES 21 and Florida A&M 14. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFMSports.net.
The Courtyard by Marriott on Route 13 in Salisbury offers comfortable rooms and meeting spaces, as well as always superior customer service in a great location near the mall. Call 410-742-4405 and ask for details about their special UMES athletics rate. The Courtyard by Marriott in Salisbury, an official hotel of UMES Athletics and a proud sponsor of Hawks basketball from SFMSports.net.
Consider the cup holder. There's probably one feeling empty next to you right now. No Pepsi, no hope. Just look at it, won't you? All across the country, cup holders are being neglected. Instead of Pepsi, they're being filled with loose change or crumpled up receipts. But you can help. Get a Pepsi and refresh a cup holder's life. Our thirsts are counting on it. In fact, I'm having one right now. That is refreshing. Pepsi, refresh yourself. Refill your cup holder.
This is Hawks basketball from SFMSports.net.
Hawks by 7 midway through the second quarter. Florida A&M has had some opportunities, Dave, but they've shot themselves in the foot too many times with 10 turnovers, and they've had very few second-chance opportunities, only 2 offensive rebounds the whole game. It's been pretty much one and done the whole way.
I'm going to give some credit to the UMES defense because they have played pretty good defense. It seems on the offensive end, both teams have been a little erratic.
Yeah, I agree, especially Taylor Thompson defensively. She's been pretty good today.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Here's Terriana Kelly to shoot one. Trying to complete the three-point play. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. We're thinking about defense.
Well, we can go back and think about it again after Kelly hit the layup. Or I should say hit the layup and the free throw. It's 22-14. Under 5 to play in the first half between Florida A&M and Maryland Eastern Shore. Their only matchup of the season. Circling through the paint. A motion offense. Over to the right side, in the corner. Robertson holds the ball, slowly dribbles back up top. A pass to Young, who finds an opening, then bounces right corner for a Robinson deep 2. No good. Byram grabs the rebound, and she's running. Off to the races. 3-on-2. Cece, great backdoor feed, and Kira Eaton finish. Yep. That was gorgeous.
Great pass by Byram. She saw her all the way, and Eaton ran the floor on the right wing tremendously.
Well, and Byram pulled the defense
to the left.
Both sides to the left there, left half of the floor. Beautifully done. At the 4-minute mark, the Hawks have their largest lead of the game, 24-14. Left corner, 3-ball missed too long from King. The rebound tipped out, back to the Lady Hawks. Neither team has put a lot of points on the board. It's a low-scoring first half, but the Hawks are making the most of their opportunities so far.
Very low-scoring. We always...
I guess Lauren Holland is not checking into the game. She was about to check in and then went back over to the bench. Okay. So Hawks by 10. Alexis Hicks on the right wing with a left-hand dribble. Bounces behind her to Sabritsky. Deep 3. No. Eaton overran the rebound opportunity, so it fell to a Rattler. And then Kira tried to steal it away from behind. That was an aggressive mistake. And Fred Batchelor says, you know what, I'm okay with that. Claps his hands and says, good job. I like the way that you didn't give up on the play. And just your first personal.
Almost had a steal from behind. Sabritsky had a wide-open 3 down here on the left side also, so it's a very good little pick and roll. We just missed a shot.
So Katie Young from the line with the left hand up and good. A senior from Fort Lauderdale. One of just 2 seniors on the team, Young and Olivia Antilla. Florida A&M has had some trying times in their basketball program over the last couple of years. 24-16 after they hit both free throws. And that's not just on the women's side. The men's side has had some struggles as well. Hicks in the full court on the right wing. Both programs, though, having much better years this year. Byram threw it to literally no one up top. Here's Sabritsky. Rolling through the left side, spinning to the hoop, passing high into the right corner. Hicks catches, takes one dribble, pops a deep 2, and put it in.
Stepped inside the 3-point line. Good pass by Sabritsky. Wing jump shot.
Yeah, last year on the men's side, Florida A&M had a whopping 2 wins and 27 losses. Wynn missed a right elbow jumper. Here come the Lady Hawks back up the floor, up 10 at the 2:48 mark. In the right corner, Hicks, right around the same spot she just hit that jumper. Pulls it back out, picks up the dribble. Antilla forced the pass. Here's Byram, top of the arc, once more back to Hicks, who quickly taps it underneath to Kelly. Double team, left corner, open, Eaton, 3-ball coming, and it popped out. It was right on the money, but just a little bit too strong.
Shared the basketball extremely well that time on offense, the Hawks.
Antilla, one dribble. Long 2, no from the left of center. Offensive rebound nowhere near the rim. Third opportunity didn't fall, and then Byram is blocked underneath.
Yeah, the Hawks got to break that time. The Lady Rattlers had 3 shots at the basket. They're not getting to go down. Byram, the smallest girl on the floor, come away with a rebound and got fouled.
26-16, Lady Hawks. Taylor Thompson back out there. Terriana Kelly has a seat. Hopefully Tamber Burke will be able to return for the Lady Hawks at some point soon. She is still nursing a knee injury. Shalise Taylor also not available for this afternoon's game. 2 minutes left in the first half. Lady Hawks on offense off to our right. Eaton looking around. A sparse crowd on hand this afternoon. Everybody kind of quiet at the moment as Taylor Thompson missed a jump shot. Rebound tipped toward the Florida A&M bench. It goes back to FAMU. Though I got to admit, I thought Sabritsky was absolutely shoved from behind. Yeah, she touched the ball last, but I was waiting for a whistle.
She almost got knocked over the A&M bench, but no whistle.
So Florida A&M back offensively. Into the high post. Wynn was able to pull in a bad pass. Threw it toward the corner. Floating jump shot up and in for Katie Young. And a foul coming up the floor on Antilla. Check that, it's on Katie Young.
Yeah, that might have been a good foul because we were just getting ready to get a wide open layup on the right side.
26-18 UMES. 1:25 left in the first half. And CeCe Byram's free throw is up and good. CeCe's done a better job today of playing good controlled defense. She's turned it over offensively more times than she'd like. Already 4 giveaways, but 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and now a couple of free throws for her here in 15 minutes of action in the first half. Hawks back to a 10-point cushion. We've had a couple of good defensive stands for several minutes consecutively at the end of the first and beginning of the second quarters. So the Hawks comfortably out front by 10. Antilla, left wing, wants to drive. Byram shuffled the feet well. Eaton poked it away. Kira racing up the floor, coast to coast, controlled the body, laid it in. These 2 freshman guards, Byram and Eaton, have been sensational the last month.
She just outran the entire Florida A&M squad. Full speed ahead. Eaton for the easy layup.
30-18. Fred Batchelor's got 2 guards that he can build around for sure. Holland denied a lane left wing. They tried to force it back to her from the top of the arc. It went into the corner on a deflection. King has it. 7 to shoot, just 30 seconds to play in the first half. Antilla, a spin move. Sabritsky right there and bumped her. Moyes first personal. And 2 foul shots coming for Olivia Antilla, who, honestly, I know she has tried to take control at certain points, but the Hawks have really shut her down. Antilla has not been a big factor in this game.
And that was kind of a love tap foul, too. If you, I mean, all the contact that's been going on, and she got bailed out on that wild shot in the middle of the lane.
Jasmine Robertson's back in there for Dawn King. Deanne Whitlow. And, I was going to say Whitlow will stand near midcourt along with Robertson. Both free throws went. 30-18. Byram up the left wing. Shot clock off, 20 seconds to play. CeCe wants to wait for the last shot. She'll be guarded fairly tightly by Holland. 10 to shoot, dribbling on the right wing, crossover style. CeCe bent over at the waist, makes a move to the left-hand side, 5 to shoot. Into the left corner, Hicks. A couple of steps in, jump shot coming, no. And Antilla grabs the rebound at the final buzzer of the first half. Fred Batchelor claps his hands walking up the floor. Got to love the effort. 30-18 at halftime.
Anytime you hold somebody to 18 points for a half, I mean, you got to be happy about your girls playing defense. Great. That was a good shot at the end of the half there. It was about an 18-footer. From the left elbow, we ran it down to run the clock out. So good execution on that offensive end. But the tail of the first half has been defense.
Well, the Hawks have definitely gotten off to a good start, trying to win their 4th straight game for the first time this year. We'll find out if they can do it in just a little bit. But first, our Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report comes your way after this timeout. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFNSports.net.
Do you need a break, a getaway? Plan a visit to Hyatt Place Dewey Beach in Delaware. Lay back, relax with your toes in the sand, and unwind to the sounds of the ocean. Please your palate with a delicious meal at Cape Casa Restaurant on the Bay while taking in the sights of a beautiful sunset. It's time to get away and make that getaway to the Hyatt Place Dewey Beach. Call 302-864-9100 or visit HyattPlaceDeweyBeach.com. Make a lifetime of memories in your own backyard at the Hyatt Place Dewey Beach. That's Hyatt Place Dewey Beach on Facebook and Instagram.
Delmarva Power has 2 new ways for customers to save money and energy this summer.
There is always something on in our house.
Washer, dryer, and in the summertime, the air conditioner.
The Peak Energy Savings Credit is a hands-on way for all customers to save money and energy. When a peak savings day happens, make simple changes like waiting a few hours before doing laundry, using a barbecue grill, and more to earn bill credits. We'll even notify you the night before a peak savings day so you'll be ready to save.
I'm always looking for ways to save.
Energy Rise Rewards is the automatic way for customers to save money and energy.
Automatic works for me.
On a peak savings day, your central air conditioner or your heat pump will be automatically cycled off and on for short periods. And the difference in temperature is just a few degrees, so you can stay comfortable. So sign up and get started saving today.
We know that people want to save.
Visit delmarva.com/peak to learn more.
Is breakfast really the most important meal of the day? At Buffalo Wild Wings, we think a case can be made for lunch. Think about it. Award-winning hand-spun wings in 16 signature sauces and 5 seasonings, Buffalitos, wraps, burgers, and salads. Yeah, we're thinking that's a pretty good argument. Now throw in the fact that we've got over 50 big screens to watch all the sports you'll ever want. It's officially a no-brainer. So next time, make lunch your game-winning meal.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
This is UMES basketball on the Hawk Sports Network, powered by SFMSports.net. The all-access halftime show starts now.
Well, Maryland Eastern Shore playing fairly well here this evening. It's a 30-18 lead at halftime on their second to last home game of the regular season. Florida A&M with just 18 first-half points. Although I'm scratching my head because I'm looking at the stat sheet.
It's hard to
and it says 18 points up at the top, but in the total points category, it says 19. So we'll have to figure out why that is. I think the score is supposed to be 30-18, isn't it?
It's 19 on the scoreboard, too. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, boy. Well,
we have 18 on this computer and that computer.
All I know is the Hawks are leading by double digits.
That's right.
Why don't you give us a rundown of the first quarter numbers?
And, just looking at the stats, looking at it, the reason they're up is they forced 12 turnovers, and they had 6 steals. So that basically is the part of the game that where defense took place. But as far as offense, it was just about nobody was outstanding. Total points of the game. Yeah, the total points of the game. Eaton was the best player on the floor with 10 points, and she's also the freshman guard, as you said. Byron played a pretty good floor game, and she's going to be. She led us with 4 assists, but she also had 4 turnovers, which is a little bit uncharacteristic that she's not been doing that over the last several games. Both teams had the score of 19, but both teams are pretty much even on the glass. 19 rebounds for the Gators, Rattlers, and 18 rebounds for the Hawks. The Hawks shot 39% from the floor for the first half, and the Rattlers shot 26. The free throw line was just about null or void. The Rattlers only had 4 free throws, 3 for 4 at 75% for the first half, and the Hawks were 4 for 5 for 80%. Not too many whistles in the first half, very few fouls, and the offense was a little on the non-existent part, I guess.
on the premium side.
I'm trying to figure out how to say that. But defensively, we did force 12 turnovers, and there were 6 steals in there. Those 6 steals reached out and got us several baskets. But Eaton was obviously the best player on the floor. in the first half.
Well,
both teams.
Yeah, she certainly was. She hit a couple of open shots. She also did a good job running up the floor in transition with CeCe Byram. It was really a guard-oriented first half. I would say Terriana Kelly and Lexi Udoji didn't seem to do much offensively. They played good defense, but Taylor Thompson wasn't a big factor either.
Yeah, you're right. We've just got a correct score by.
All right. How about that? Let's see what do we got here. All right, bingo. It is 30-19. There we go. Now, hey, it's all about getting the right thing. So Olivia Antilla has 10 points instead of 9 in that first half. She hit 2 of 3 from the free throw line.
Double digits.
Okay. All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll look around the MEAC. This is the Hawk Sports Network on SFNSports.net.
Bobby, you here again?
Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
Well, I like sides.
It's so affordable I can finally take a vacation.
Where you gonna go?
Here, Tim, here.
Introducing the new B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu, starting at a new low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation and availability may vary. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Peninsula Regional Medical Center is proud to be recognized as a national healthcare leader, delivering exceptional healthcare by exceptional people. The professional staff at PRMC is equipped to handle most injuries and illnesses that are non-life-threatening and can deliver immediate medical attention without an appointment. To get more information and up to the second wait times, visit peninsula.org. PRMC, proud to be the official healthcare provider of the UMES Hawks.
The Hampton Inn & Suites Fruitland Salisbury South is passionate about getting it right. Their promise to you includes a clean, comfortable hotel room, located only 7.5 miles from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Also conveniently located within walking distance of 5 different restaurants, plus a shuttle service that can take you back and forth to the campus. Hampton Inn & Suites, an official hotel of UMES Athletics.
Meet Heather. She's 5'8", attractive and single, enjoys time with friends and Fells Point, and by midnight, she's going to be killed by a drunk driver. Are you going to kill Heather?
If you drink and drive, lives are at risk. That's why Maryland police are stopping and arresting drunk drivers with checkpoints and intense patrols. They'll see you before you see them.
Unit 850 stopping a suspected DUI.
Checkpoint Strike Force is back. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Have you heard? Proactive is new and better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000-bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With new Proactive, your acne can heal and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. Be one of the first to try it by giving us a call at 1-800-669-8096, because we're going to let 1 million people try new Proactive risk-free. Get 2 free gifts and also receive free shipping when you call right now. You heard it. Be one of the first to try new and better than ever Proactive, and you'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial of the new Proactive, 2 free extras, and free shipping when you call 1-800-669-8096. This is our best radio offer ever. Get your risk-free 60-day trial of new Proactive plus free shipping. That's right, free shipping. This offer won't last long. Call 1-800-669-8096. That's 1-800-669-8096.
The UMES Hawks All Access Halftime Show continues on SFMSports.net.
Let's give you a look around the MEAC here as our halftime show continues, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Today's action, everybody has gotten underway, but unfortunately the live stats for these games are not being fed to ESPN, so I can't give you any updated scores, but I can tell you who's playing where. Hampton is at Delaware State this evening. South Carolina State will play at Howard. That should be a pretty decent game in conference. North Carolina A&T and Morgan State in probably the game of the day in in the MEAC. Morgan State 10-3. North Carolina A&T is 9-3. Obviously, you've got this affair, and then Coppin State and Norfolk State will square off. That game just tipped off a little bit ago. So conference play is starting to get interesting, and Morgan State right now sits at the top of the conference. And obviously, the Lady Hawks will have a chance to close the regular season there. But, Dave, why don't we take a look at those conference standings?
Well, as you said, Morgan State leads the conference at 10-3, followed closely by A&T at 9-3, and also Hampton at 9-3. And just behind them in a pack, we're very important to see how important this game is tonight. Florida A&M is 8-4, Coppin 7-6, and Maryland Eastern Shore 7-6.
And don't forget Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, Bethune-Cookman 9-4. I'll jump right over them. I'll put them in the top bracket. But either one of those teams, with over the last couple games, could jump spots, and you want to be. They're looking to play in little brackets now, and you could get a couple buys in there, or you also could not be seated with the number one Morgan State Bears. But the Hawks could have something to do with that. Tonight, game against A&M, and then Florida's against Morgan in a week. What they cannot do is stub their toe against Delaware State next Saturday. But that's at home.
Yes, the Lady Hawks took care of business a couple Saturdays ago up at Delaware State. It was actually a week and a half ago. They took care of business. It was a great road win for them. That was probably the most exciting win they've had all year, in my opinion. I know they've had a couple of games where offensively they've looked great. Certainly that Howard game last Tuesday, but I don't know if they've had a bigger win than the one at Delaware State, just because of the environment they played in and the momentum that game seemed to give them.
Yeah, that gym's a tough place to play. It's loud, and it's just tough to go there and play. But with 3 wins, it puts them it's a possibility of being 10-6, and that could shove you right up near the top. And depends on what happens with the other teams are playing each other, so somebody's got to lose.
Well, the only lumps on the resume for UMES in conference play are their losses to Norfolk State and North Carolina Central.
Right.
Both of those two teams have only won 2 games in conference all year, and as of today, the most recent RPI released rankings for all of college basketball on the ladies' side, the dead last ranked team is North Carolina Central. And I realize the Lady Hawks played them early in the year, but
December.
That's a tough one to swallow.
December, that's a tough road. That's a tough game to play. For some reason, the MEAC plays like 1 or 2 games in the beginning of December, and that's a tough time to play it. You don't see anybody else, too many other conferences doing that, and you got to get on the road and play that early when you're. I mean, you and I both seen this. We're a totally different team than what we were the first week of December.
No doubt. Before we go back to our final break here, what do you think the big key to the second half is for the Hawks if they want to hang on to this confirmed 11-point lead?
Well, I think if our offense gets itself together, we're going to score some points, and then defensively, we can still hold them to 1 shot, which is what we've been doing most of the time, and that's been a far-out shot at that. We got a great chance of winning this. We'll see how they come out, as we always say, see how they come out of the locker room for the first couple minutes.
All right, that's coming up next. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFMSports.net.
Each week, go inside the athletics program at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore with Hawks Talk.
I'm Brendan Gulick, radio voice of the Hawks, and we're joined today by head coach Bobby Collins.
Hear from UMES coaches.
The one thing that we did, we played hard.
Student athletes.
Being a student athlete, obviously, student is first.
We're happy to do it in front of what is a really nice crowd here on Wednesday night at Buffalo Wild Wings on Route 13 in Salisbury. We'll be here from 7 to 8.
It's Hawks Talk from SFMSports.net on Fox Sports 960.
Delmarva Power has 2 new ways for customers to save money and energy this summer.
There is always something on in our house.
Washer, dryer, and in the summertime, the air conditioner.
The Peak Energy Savings Credit is a hands-on way for all customers to save money and energy. When a peak savings day happens, make simple changes like waiting a few hours before doing laundry, using a barbecue grill, and more to earn bill credits. We'll even notify you the night before a peak savings day so you'll be ready to save.
I'm always looking for ways to save.
Energy Rise Rewards is the automatic way for customers to save money and energy.
Automatic works for me.
On a peak savings day, your central air conditioner or your heat pump will be automatically cycled off and on for short periods. And the difference in temperature is just a few degrees, so you can stay comfortable. So sign up and get started saving today.
We know that people want to save.
Visit delmarva.com/peak to learn more.
You're listening to Lady Hawks Now. And coming up, it's the Fighting Hawks. Listen to UMES basketball on Fox Sports 960 and anywhere at sfmsports.net.
Hope you can join us Wednesday night for our next edition of Hawks Talk from 7 to 8 at Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll have a couple of members of the coaching staff as well as a special guest to be announced on Wednesday night. So hopefully you can join us for that. Let's get back to action. It's our first play here of the second half. Moise Sabritsky and company shooting off to our left-hand side. Lexi Udoji for the Hawks. Spins in the paint, puts it up, and missed it right between two defenders from only about 5 or 6 feet away from the can. Hawks back on defense, up by 11 points.
Person-to-person defense for the Hawks.
UMES guarding around the free throw line where McCray gives it out to the top. Now Robertson goes from left to right wing, bounced it away. Here's Young going through the paint, losing the ball. Young got it back, 7 to shoot. In the lower right side of the key, Antilla turns around, fades away. How in the world did that go in?
That was a prayer, and it was answered.
It was a miracle. 30-21.
You went in.
Oh, my goodness. Hawks by 9, 1 minute in third quarter. Sabritsky in the right wing, spins at the right elbow, makes her way into the paint, kicks to the right corner for an 18-footer from Tariana Kelly. Too strong. Udoji could not bring in the rebound, but Craig grabbed it. In transition, Wynn goes right to the left elbow, hesitation dribble, and passes back out to the perimeter. Antilla at the top of the key, bounces into the low post. Young goes to work, finds Wynn, left wing, I should say left baseline jump shot, up and in, 30-23.
Pretty easy shot from about 12 feet.
So Florida A&M has hit their first 2 buckets here in half number 2 and cut it down to a 7-point game. Byram found an opening, cut to the left corner where she found Eaton, whose 3-ball was way too strong. Sabritsky was there, and she probably got away with a double dribble. Sabritsky gives up top to CeCe Byram. Once more to Eaton, left corner. Eaton works it into the high paint where it's thrown away. Wynn all the way up the floor, and she missed the uncontested layup. Victoria Wynn couldn't hit it. Byram to Sabritsky in the right corner for the Hawks. Moy sidesteps a defender, banks it in from the right side.
And the Hawks caught a break that time and made the Rattlers play with a layup by Sabritsky.
32-23. Wynn goes to work on Byram underneath the hoop, bounces into the corner. Here's to Antilla, left wing 3, no. Byram grabs the rebound. CeCe's come out with some energy here in half number 2 after just 2 points in the opening frame. She's got her 5th rebound, also 4 assists here this evening. Hawks by 9. CeCe with pink socks on, rolls to her left, passes back to the right, and Udoji. Lexi finds Moise Sabritsky for the Lady Hawks. Trying to drive on the right side, triple team, finds Kelly cutting into the paint. Wide open for 2.
Good pass that time by Sabritsky. Good roll down the lane by Kelly.
34-23 Hawks. Left corner, a pump fake from Robertson. They work it back out. Now Robertson once more. This time lets it fly. Missed the jump shot, but Young is there. Inside 2 Hawks. Into Antilla, and it's blocked by Kelly.
Great block by Kelly that time.
CeCe double teamed, and she's fouled near midcourt. Antilla just bumped her.
Until upset by not getting that rebound on the offensive end and commits a foul at the midcourt line.
First person on Olivia Antilla. McCray, Young, Antilla, London Holland, and Jasmine Robertson out there for the ladies in pink as Byram goes right to the rack and lays it in. Claps her hands together as she put it through the bucket. 36-23, largest lead of the game for the host, Lady Hawks. Antilla nearly walked with it just outside the top of the key. Passed it away to Holland. Once more to Antilla, who wants to drive right lane. Into the right corner. A pass goes right back to Antilla for 3. Too strong. offensive rebound keeps it alive. McCray was there, found Antilla once more. That time she missed it from the right side of the paint, partially deflected.
Somebody got it from behind.
Lady Hawks with a 36-23 lead, but both teams have picked up the intensity here in the second half. We're at the 5:47 mark of our third quarter. Hawks by a baker's dozen. Byram gets a high screen, can't find a way to feed it off. Instead, lobs right corner. And Sabritsky is fouled. That's an easy call against Miss Robertson.
Sabritsky just got knocked over. That was pretty easy. Tough pass that time by Byram, though. Kind of a lazy lob pass all the way across the court. Out of bounds underneath our own basket. This is what we do pretty well.
Byram standing on the baseline but in the corner. Lobs to the three-point line and Moy Sabritsky. She'll pass off to the right side of Udoji and then give it right back up top to Moy. Moy chucks it from dead on, way downtown, put it in. Sabritsky caught the defense napping, and with that quick release, swished a deep jumper, her first three of the game. Hawks lead by 16 points.
Nothing but net from well beyond the top of the key.
5:12 left in the third quarter, 39-23. Robertson feeds to the left corner. Three ball coming. Too strong. Offensive rebound was lost. Byram pulls it away after Howland's three ball was off the mark. Cece, who is barely sweating in this ball game. She really hasn't had to work that hard until this third quarter. At the top of the arc, they're pestering her. She throws it off into the corner. No-look pass from Udoji to Eaton. Slices through the paint, up and in. A fist pump from Fred Batchelor. This offense looks awesome the last 2 weeks.
That was a great slash to the basket. Timeout.
Lady Rattlers call it timeout. It is all Lady Hawks, 41-23 at the 4:31 mark of our third quarter. We'll be back. Hawks by 18 here on the Hawks Sports Network.
Do you need a break, a getaway? Plan a visit to Hyatt Place Dewey Beach in Delaware. Lay back, relax with your toes in the sand, and unwind to the sounds of the ocean. Please your palate with a delicious meal at Cape Hassa Restaurant on the bay while taking in the sights of a beautiful sunset. It's time to get away and make that getaway to the Hyatt Place Dewey Beach. Call 302-864-9100 or visit HyattPlaceDeweyBeach.com. Make a lifetime of memories in your own backyard at Hyatt Place Dewey Beach. That's Hyatt Place Dewey Beach on Facebook and Instagram.
Peninsula Regional Medical Center is proud to be recognized as a national healthcare leader, delivering exceptional healthcare by exceptional people. The professional staff at PRMC is equipped to handle most injuries and illnesses that are non-life-threatening and can deliver immediate medical attention without an appointment. To get more information and up to the second wait times, visit peninsula.org. PRMC, proud to be the official healthcare provider of the UMES Hawks.
This is Hawks basketball from SFMSports.net.
An 11-0 run for the Lady Hawks. 5.5 minutes into the third quarter, and it's UMES by 18, 41-23. FAMU on the baseline inbound offensively. Brings it into the forecourt, up to the top of the arc. They've reset. Kadirja Young has it. Passes left side to the senior Antilla. Leading scorer bounces back to Young, right wing. Now a pass around to the left side of the arc. A drive toward the bucket and a foul as Holland got whacked. 7 on the shot clock. Good rotation offensively there and good sharing with that spacing on the floor. And it bought free throws for Florida A&M. Timeout on the floor. We'll go right back to immediate stoppage and return after this timeout with Dave Bird's thoughts that I just cut you off from. Hawks by 18. Back in a moment. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFMSports.net.
The Hampton Inn and Suites for Salisbury South is passionate about getting it right. Their promise to you includes a clean, comfortable hotel room, located only 7.5 miles from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Also conveniently located within walking distance of 5 different restaurants, plus a shuttle service that can take you back and forth to the campus. Hampton Inn and Suites, an official hotel of UMES Athletics.
The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
13 institutions, all striving as one to excel in the classroom and on the field. A premier Division I conference with 16 sponsored sports, showcasing the talents and strengths of our student athletes through hard work and perseverance. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Just do it, Nike, your official footwear provider.
Brendan Gulick, Dave Bird with you here on Monday evening from the Heights Athletic Center on the campus of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Doubleheader tonight, the Lady Hawks with a 41-23 lead over Florida A&M, who played on Saturday at Bethune-Cookman and picked up a 5-point win. They play today, and then they'll play at Howard on Wednesday, so 3 games in 5 days. Only time this year that Florida A&M has to do that, and that's because of the scheduling conflict that was created when they didn't make the trip up north during that winter storm about a month ago. So lots of basketball now for one of the teams that is definitely contending for a high seed in conference play. Florida A&M still technically could win the MEAC, but they need some help. First free throw up and good. It makes it a 41-24 game as London Howland, the freshman from McKinney, Texas. That's a suburb of Dallas. Second shot up and good as well. So she hits them both. 41-25.
That's her first 2 points of the second half.
That's true. Not many more have piled into the gymnasium here. Probably only legitimately a couple hundred people in the building here this evening. 4 minutes left, third quarter, as Sabritsky kicks into the right corner. Byram then explodes to the hoop and lays it high off the window. Yeah. When Cece gets going with a full head of steam, there's no stopping her.
Yeah. Sabritsky cleared the lane.
Back to an 18-point lead in the right corner. Kenya Dixon throws it over to the left side as Holland was denied a driving lane. Good defense from Sabritsky. Holland for 3, left corner, no. Rebound toward the free throw line, pulled in from Tariana Kelly and the Lady Hawks.
Well, the Hawks doing a good job blocking out on the several balls that hit the floor, and the rebound. Then control.
Eaton with a game-high 12. Olivia Antilla a team-high 11 for FAMU. Nobody else for Florida A&M has more than 4 points. Right corner, Sabritsky wants to drive along the baseline, and she traveled with the basketball.
Traveling violation.
So the Hawks will give it back.
Yeah, the Hawks have kind of shared the offense around. The different players have scored. Nobody a lot, but it's also only 43 points in the third quarter, so impossible to get a lot of points.
Sabritsky's got 8. Kelly has 7. Byram 6. Hicks has 5, but Eaton leads the way with a dozen. Nice spin move in the paint, and Young's layup just doesn't fall. The rim unkind as it sat on the right side and fell away. But a Lady Hawk foul. It's the second on Tariana Kelly. So 2 free throws coming for the senior guard from Fort Lauderdale, Kadirja Young. If you're not familiar, Florida A&M is in Tallahassee. The other Florida school in the MEAC is Bethune-Cookman. They're in the Daytona Beach area. Young missed that first free throw, and now Wynn comes in for Holland. You know what you can do in Tallahassee? 12 months a year? Play golf.
Golf, that's right.
Here you got about a...
Daytona Beach, not bad either.
Yeah, maybe 10 or 11 months generously on the golf season here along the peninsula. Byram has it near the forecourt, goes to the right-hand side. Hawks by 17, 2:42 to play in the third. Eaton in the left corner, caught a jump pass, threw it back to Byram right wing. 12 to shoot it. Cece wants to go to her right. Instead, she passes off. It's deflected out.
The Hawks are getting just a little stationary on the offensive end. A little more movement that they had earlier in there.
Udoji has to fire, put up a 3 and missed it. Great box out from McCray, and she grabs the rebound. Florida A&M with just 26 points in 28 minutes. Victoria Wynn working around on the right wing, needs some help. Lobs to the left side. Dixon goes underneath to McCray. Backdoor bounce pass, drew a foul. It's only the third on UMES. Goes on Cece Byram. She just picked up her second. So she'll be replaced on the floor. Alexis Hicks comes back in, sophomore from Raleigh.
Got that.
Eaton nearly stole the pass on the inbound. She deflected it back to a Lady Rattler, and it was Young who stepped out of bounds. All right.
I was almost giving Eaton a basket on that steal coming out of there.
The words were spilling out of your mouth.
Coming there, that's right. Full court pressure now by the Lady Rattlers.
Hawks by 17 points.
Turn and look.
Sabritsky slowly brings it up against a fairly relaxed full court press. Loy spins at the three-point line, drives toward the free throw line, puts up a floater and missed short. 1:48 and counting third quarter. Victoria Wynn sidesteps her way through the paint and wildly airmails one out of bounds in the left corner.
That's back-to-back unforced turnovers by the Lady Rattlers.
Yeah, you could tell Victoria Wynn is just pushing too hard tonight. She just committed her second turnover in basically consecutive trips. Lady Rattlers are averaging 17 turnovers per night. They're already at 15 with a minute and a half left here in the third quarter. Sabritsky found Eaton, who passed back to the left side. Now Udoji into the low post. Kelly and Sabritsky exchange passes. 6 to shoot. 4 to shoot. Right corner. Hicks for 3. Way too long. Never hit the rim. And the Hawks give it back. It was good ball movement, I think, though, offensively there. They got an open shot.
So they had a couple shots, a couple open shots they should have taken earlier instead of, I think they just overpassed a little bit that time and took a deep 3 from the right-hand corner.
Jasmine Robertson checks back in. Victoria Wynn sits down on the bench, and she looks not just physically but emotionally exhausted. Her body language is anything but positive right now. As a replacement, Robertson throws one away in the paint. Hawks with a minute to play in the third quarter lead 43-26. They've only given up one basket from the, or I should say 3 points. And actually, I think they're all free throws, aren't they?
All foul shots.
Yeah, all foul shots in the last 5.5 minutes. Udoji from the right wing, up top to Eaton. 5 to shoot. Kira through the paint, chucked it up. Did not fall through. Kelly, the offensive board, missed it once, put it back up, and she'll go to the line.
She had the first one.
31.1 on the clock. So Tariana Kelly to shoot a couple of free throws. The last field goal for Florida A&M was a Victoria Wynn jump shot with 8:41 left in the third quarter. There's 31 seconds left. Over 8 minutes without a basket from the floor.
Yeah, that was a little baseline jumper from about 12 feet.
Sabritsky and Udoji sit. Martin and Thompson return. After the first free throw went home, Kelly taking her time, checking out the rim, spins it through her hand, lets it fly. Basically 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Maryland Eastern. Hicks on the right wing. Looks up top to Thompson. Taylor chucks a triple wide open. She just couldn't help herself. Like a kid in a candy store. Her eyes popped out of her head. Fred Batchelor, if they were late in the shot clock, probably wouldn't have cared. But his reaction wasn't exactly
positive.
Should have
took the last shot of the quarter, and she burps it up. Several errors.
10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Young all the way into the paint. Thompson whacked her. UMES leads by 18 with just over 6 seconds left. Thompson commits her second foul. Florida A&M has never never led in this game, and it's been pretty one-sided ever since the Hawks went on an 11-0 run in the second half. It was early in the second half.
Yeah.
First free throw went for Young.
Yeah, we're up first 15-7 at the end of the first quarter, and gone on from there.
Young hit them both. She's got 7 points, and 5 of those 7 are from the stripe. Kelly to inbound. It was deflected underneath. She was able to go grab it quickly. Terriana throws it toward midcourt. Eaton with 3 seconds left to Martin, who catches and shoots on the baseline. It just doesn't go, but the Hawks got up the floor quickly. 3 quarters complete, and it's UMES 44, Florida A&M 28. Back with a final quarter of action here this evening. Hawks by 16. This is the Hawks Sports Network on SFMSports.net.
Delmarva Power has 2 new ways for customers to save money and energy this summer.
There is always something on in our house.
Washer, dryer, and in the summertime, the air conditioner.
The Peak Energy Savings Credit is a hands-on way for all customers to save money and energy. When a peak savings day happens, make simple changes like waiting a few hours before doing laundry, using a barbecue grill, and more to earn bill credits. We'll even notify you the night before a peak savings day so you'll be ready to save.
I'm always looking for ways to save.
Energy Wise Rewards is the automatic way for customers to save money and energy.
Automatic works for me.
On a peak savings day, your central air conditioner or your heat pump will be automatically cycled off and on for short periods. And the difference in temperature is just a few degrees, so you can stay comfortable. So sign up and get started saving today.
We know that people want to save.
Visit delmarva.com/peak to learn more.
You're listening to Lady Hawks Now. And coming up, it's the Fighting Hawks. Listen to UMES basketball on Fox Sports 960 and anywhere at sfmsports.net.
After 3 quarters of play, it's UMES 44, Florida A&M 28. Let's get the 4th quarter underway. Hawks are well on their way to their 4th consecutive victory. Young mishandles the ball on the right wing, picks it back up, and passes to McCray. She goes in toward the left corner, gives up to Kenya Dixon. Back to Victoria Wynn, who threw a bobbled pass into the left corner, deflected out by the Hawks. 13 seconds to shoot. A sideline inbound coming right in front of the FAMU bench.
All right, the Hawks have forced 15 turnovers so far in 3 quarters, and that's been a big part of the basketball game.
UMES just 9 turnovers on the night. Wynn has it up top, 7 to get rid of it. Chucks it up while going out of control in the lane, and Regine Martin will get called for the blocking foul. She was almost set, but almost doesn't count. First foul of the 4th quarter. Hawks have been a little foul happy, but it certainly hasn't hurt them yet. Wynn's free throw is up and good. Again, just now 29 points for Florida A&M, and we are in the beginning of the 4th quarter. Not a lot of scoring tonight. Second shot not gonna fall. Wow. A lot of pressure in the backcourt as Hicks baseball tosses into the front court. Hawks quickly break that press. No Byram on the floor at the moment. Hicks has it up top. Alexis goes through the right lane through a bad pass. Florida A&M tipped it away and went out of bounds on the sideline.
The Hawks got a definite break that time because out of control going down the lane. Now's when you want to take control. We've scored 22 points in the paint for the first 3 quarters. It'd be a good idea to go back down in there for this last quarter.
Maryland Eastern Shore looking for their 10th victory of the season. They are currently tied for 6th in the conference with Coppin State, a team they beat earlier this year. 44-29 here in the 4th quarter. Thompson threw a bad pass into the key. Kelly got a deflection after it looked like FAMU would get the ball back. In fact, they will say 2 turnovers. The stat crew officials will give Florida A&M credit for controlling the ball. Thompson on the right wing. Gives to Alexis Hicks. Hicks dribbles up top, spins at the right elbow. Back to Thompson, right corner 3. Hit it! Taylor Thompson, nothing but net from deep, 47-29.
Wide open, right in front of Fred Batchelor and the Hawk bench.
Matches their largest lead of the game at 18 points several times here in the 4th quarter. And I should say second half. They had it in the 3rd quarter, too. Missed 3 from Antilla, but a put back up and in from Young makes it 47-31. And Hicks is fouled near midcourt. It's going to probably go on Kenya Dixon.
Yeah, she got mauled at the midcourt line.
There were a couple of Rattlers there, but Dixon did pick up the violation.
Couple subs coming in now. Sabritsky and Udoji.
Yeah, Sabritsky, Byram, Martin, Udoji, and Taylor Thompson are out there. And now it's Wynn, Holland, Young, Antilla, and Deanne Whitlow, the freshman from Hermitage, Tennessee, out there for the visiting Lady Rattlers in pink. Thompson, right elbow, jump shot, no. Martin tracks down the offensive board, jumps and saves it, throwing it toward midcourt. Great hustle play. To the right wing, Byram fakes and drives, and she's hit. No shot, just a foul on the floor.
Taylor Thompson must be feeling it in this fourth quarter. She's certainly shooting the rock. Out of bounds underneath her own basket.
Victoria Wynn picks up her first, team second of the fourth quarter. Lady Hawks with just 2 games left in the regular season after tonight. And they'll have plenty of time to get ready for both of them. They play Saturday and then the following Thursday. Sabritsky, right corner 3. You betcha. 50-31.
She drilled that baby.
Did Moy just make a cell phone out of her hand and put it to her ear?
I think she did.
Long distance call from Moy Sabritsky. That might be the most cocky thing we've seen her do all year. And I'm laughing because that's just typically not something we see from her.
Yeah. Well, she felt good on drilling that baby right in front of the Hawk bench on the right baseline.
Hawks deflected out of bounds. Here's a baseline inbound for the Rattlers. 50-31. And then the Lady Rattlers lose it out of bounds. I mean, Florida A&M, I don't know if they just got off the bus flat, but they have not been able to put together, I don't know, maybe more than 3 minutes of offensive life all game.
I think, like I told you, I think they got bus flat.
Florida A&M has hit 10 of 38 shots. They've turned it over 17 times. Right corner, Sabritsky wants to drive. Finds Udoji cutting and a violent collision near the free throw line. Udoji and Holland both a little slow to get up. Both appear to be okay, but that was a collision that would have hockey fans cringing. Lauren Holland, I beg your pardon, London Holland picks up the first foul assessed to her today. Byram will inbound underneath the hoop. Udoji appears to be all right. Thompson takes the inbounds pass, jump stop right side of the key. A flat shot didn't go. Swirled around, popped straight out, and the rebound comes down to Whitlow.
She had a good look at it. Inside the lane.
Wynn fakes underneath, passes away, and gets it right back. Then goes to left corner and Young. Back to Wynn. Wanted a 3, goes back to Young left side. A pass to the high key. Holland jump stop, goes to the right corner.
Block.
3 ball tipped by Udoji. And as everybody went for the ball, a foul called on Regine Martin. Udoji and Martin each have 3, but with a 19-point lead for UMES and only 6:43 remaining, the Hawks have put this one on cruise control. Young in the right corner after the inbound. They work around the perimeter left side. Holland a triple. Hit it. Rimmed its way through. 50-34. 6:27 left in the ball game. Florida A&M playing their second game in 3 days. That's not a big deal. But on Wednesday, they'll play their third game in 5 days as Antilla did not allow Martin away to the basket. That's her second foul.
She didn't let her turn the corner, that's for sure.
Antilla will sit down. Kenya Dixon back in there. And now Alicia McCrae back on the floor with Deanne Whitlow grabbing some chair. Hawks by 16 here at home.
And dominating the lane.
Last home game of the year comes up on Saturday against Delaware State. It'll be senior day as Thompson goes nicely through the paint and lays it in with the left hand.
Thompson aggressive to the basket and inside the lane again.
52-34. McCrae feeds left corner. 3 ball is in. Kenya Dixon, the junior from Baton Rouge, popped a triple, 52-37.
Back-to-back threes for the Lady Rattlers.
Obviously, I've been impressed with the Hawks offensively in the second half as Byram gets fouled and shoots 2 coming up. But I think it's their consistent defense today that's been more impressive. Fred Batchelor's group starting to put it together here late. And I know if you watch the way this team played early in the season, especially when they had home games against UMBC and Old Dominion and that early conference home game against Morgan State, even the home game in early December against Mount St. Mary's, things didn't look right. But the Hawks have made some adjustments, and now things are starting to change. Byram missed the first. Second free throw is up and good. Timeout, Lady Hawks. 5:47 left in our fourth quarter. We'll step aside just for the quick 30 seconds. This is the Hawks Sports Network from SFMSports.net.
Consider the cup holder. There's probably one feeling empty next to you right now. No Pepsi, no hope. Just look at it, won't you? All across the country, cup holders are being neglected. Instead of Pepsi, they're being filled with loose change or crumpled up receipts. But you can help. Get a Pepsi and refresh a cup holder's life. Our thirsts are counting on it. In fact, I'm having one right now. That is refreshing. Pepsi, refresh yourself. Refill your cup holder.
Maryland Eastern Shore 53, Florida A&M 37, with 5:47 left here in our fourth quarter. Brendan Gulick and Dave Bird with you. Dave, it's been a pretty one-sided second half.
Yeah.
Has anything surprised you in the second half?
Well, no, not really, because we talked about the Hawks scored some points and executed their offense, and I think they could pull away from this game, and that's what they've done. They've gone continually down inside, and we have dominated the paint from the start, but we really dominated the paint in the second half.
Well, apparently they turned this into a media timeout, which is not how the rules are written. You're allowed to call a media timeout if it carries over, if you're within 30 seconds of that media timeout threshold at 5 minutes. But there's 5:47 on the clock, so I don't think we're going to have a media timeout, and we'll have to figure out a way to rework our commercial structure.
Either that or they'll give us another one, and that's not likely.
Hawks by 16 as the teams just come back on the floor.
And the Hawks have changed defense coming out of huddle, which is a characteristic of Coach Fred Batchelor. They're now a 1-3-1.
Here comes Victoria Wynn as she picks it up at one quarter court. Wynn right down the middle, looking to the left. Everybody matches up man on man.
And the Hawks are just trying to eliminate that three-point shot, I believe.
Dixon from the left elbow found an opening, tried to spin it off the rim, didn't go. Rebound tipped around several times, loose on the floor near the three-point line, and Martin, the hustle pickup. Well done. Byram dribbles around three defenders in the backcourt, goes all the way to the rim, and an offensive foul is called. I don't know if I agree with that. She definitely bumped her, but
she was by her. No question. Well, one thing the Hawks have done also this game is that really the Lady Rattlers have not got an open shot. They've had a hand in somebody's face or up there the entire basketball game. We're still we're changing defense again. We're back to a person-to-person defense at this time.
You know, my mother told me when I was a little kid, Dave.
What's that?
You can't say anything nice. Don't say anything at all. So I'm just going to bite my tongue.
That's right.
Ball goes out of bounds. It stays with
that long
Florida
time
A&M.
ago, especially when you're dealing with the people in striped shirts.
That's right. Young waits for the inbound. Finds a way to get it in right into trouble, and a jump ball call. We're exactly at the 5-minute mark, 11 seconds to shoot. And actually, I beg your pardon, it'll reset because it's Lady Hawk basketball. A turnover on the jump ball. UMES way out front, 53-37. Byram runs the point for UMES.
Under control.
Three-time Conference Player of the Week and reigning Conference Player of the Week. And a blocking foul called. I will bet you any amount of money that you'd like in a. We can't gamble money. I'll bet you any number of Jolly Ranchers you want.
Okay,
that was a makeup call. Regine Martin going to the line. Kenya Dixon picks up her fourth.
Because Regine Martin
want to break NCAA violations
going
here.
through the was going through the lane rather hard.
Martin taking her time from the line. Hasn't shot a whole lot of free throws on the year, and she hits the first. That was just her 15th free throw all season. She's hit 10 of 15. Taking her time, measures it, and buries it.
And the Hawks are now 9 for 12 for the game from the free throw line. Not a lot of free throws in this basketball game.
UMES by 18 points, 4:35 to play. Young from the free throw line, steps back into the keyhole, passes right wing. An overhead pass from the right wing to the top of the arc from Robertson to Young. Young spins through the left side of the floor, blocked by Udoji again. Lexi holding the ball in the low post. Reigning conference defensive player of the year is making her presence known.
And that's her fourth block by my unofficial count.
Thompson in the right corner works around the top of the arc, and the Hawks are basically in kill the clock mode. Sabritsky spins around Antilla all the way to the hoop, missed the runner. Udoji the offensive rebound. A skip pass back to the top of the arc, never hit the rim. Byram has to hurry to the hoop, hit the front, and did not fall. Florida A&M comes the other way. Lady Rattlers down 18 points. Young stops at the left elbow, finds a trail three. Not enough. Close shot, but Kenya Dixon couldn't bury. 55-37 as Brianna Tsai waits to check in. Haven't seen her yet today. We haven't seen Shantisha Bryant yet either. They both wait at the scorer's table. Lady Hawks have played one of their best defensive games all year. Sabritsky missed the free throw line runner. I mean, I'm talking she was a little out of control and just threw it up with her right arm. 3:12 to play. Here's Wynn from the left elbow, steps into it too, and knocks it in. She was about as wide open as you could be.
Yeah.
Victoria Wynn's got 7 points, 3 of 7 shooting.
That hadn't happened much this ball game because the Hawks have had a hand in the Rattlers' face the entire game.
Eaton with 12, Sabritsky with 11, the only two Hawks in double figures. 11 points for Olivia Antilla. Leads the way for Florida A&M. A Thompson left corner three. Can't get a second. And Sabritsky goes to tip the rebound. Apparently she was the last to touch it before it went out. So Tsai and Bryant will come in for Byram and Udoji. The substitution for Florida A&M, Robertson leaves the floor. And London Holland back in there. Florida A&M mishandles the ball for just a moment in the backcourt. Victoria Wynn dribbles around, blows by Martin, goes to the right elbow, stops, looks underneath. Florida A&M's offense has been well run today. They've gotten some open looks, but way too many turnovers. That was an easy look at the basket from Dixon, and she missed it. Thompson the rebound. 2-on-1, fast break situation. Bryant had to slow up, bad pass, turns around from the key, missed it left side of the key, and then I think she commits the foul.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a little out of sync.
She had an easy shot, though. She was at least 6 inches taller than the girl Gardner, and she just had to bank it off the glass, and she was a little short at the front of the rim.
So Shantisha Bryant picks up her first team 4. Here's Robertson back in the floor for Kadirja Young. 2:12 left in the game, and the Hawks lead it 55-39. Well, the clock started ticking down, and it shouldn't have. There we go. Got to wait till the offensive player touches the ball in the backcourt. Wynn goes to the left side, picks up the ball, passes to a cutting teammate in Dixon, right back to Wynn, now into the left corner. Holland feeds into the paint underneath, and Antilla gets whacked by Brianna Tsai.
Well, the last thing you want to do if you're a Lady Hawk is foul at this stage of the game because the clock is still running.
Olivia Antillo will shoot a pair from the free throw line with under 2 minutes left in the game. And the first free throw falls off, no good, missed to the left. A reminder, we've got our men's contest coming up half an hour after the first game here concludes. Antillo splits the pair. She's got 12, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. And a travel in the backcourt. Come on, that was a foul easily. London Holland hugged Brianna Sy, but they called her for a travel. 15-point ball game. Yeah, we'll have the men's game coming up. It was scheduled for a 7:30 tip, but it'll probably be more like 7:35 or 7:40 if I had to take a guess. Great job by Wynn as she found Taylor Thompson's back, threw the ball off her, but missed the layup. Got her own offensive rebound, turns into a missed three-pointer. Here's Martin the other way in transition. Got the pass from Bryant, and Regine Martin lays it in.
Yeah, good pass by Bryant that time. Pretty easy layup for Martin.
Martin's got 7 here this afternoon. Antilla's 3 bricked way too long. Dixon falls down and travels with it.
Matter running the clock now, and we're out of here with a very good W at the Heights Center.
4th straight win about to come underway here for the Hawks. Sabritsky gets it into Brianna Sy. Florida A&M not giving up. They force a turnover in the backcourt. Antilla goes to the hoop, banks it home with 1:19 to play. Sabritsky on the right wing, double teamed. Throws it toward midcourt where Taylor Thompson is. Thompson gives it right back to Moy, and a foul. Pushing staff for that's right with a minute left.
Yeah. The score's getting a little closer, but it really is not reflective on how much the Hawks have dominated the second half, especially.
Moy hits the first free throw.
Balanced scoring for the Lady Hawks, too.
Dawn King comes in. London Holland has a seat. It's 58-42. UMES about to go to 8-6 in conference. FAMU going to fall to 8-5. Sabritsky buries the second free throw. 59-42. She'll leave as Kira Eaton comes back in. And Sabritsky will finish the day with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's a stat stuffer.
Florida A&M in the forecourt on the left wing. Dawn King back up top to Win. Win gets a screen. Good backdoor feed, but it's bobbled. King in the right corner. 3 ball. Good. 59-45. Too little, too late, though. The life here from Florida A&M. They're fighting all the way to the finish as Sy turns it over in the front court. And Brianna Sy fouls her. Free throws coming after Sy's second foul. 14-point game with 48 seconds to play. Kira Eaton with 12, Moy Sabritsky with 13. Those are the only 2 players in double figures. CeCe Byram had a quiet game scoring. She hit only 2 of 6 shots from the floor. First free throw didn't go.
But she ran the show.
Robertson.
She ran the show extremely well.
She did. Had 7 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yeah.
The only problem, a little sloppy early in the game. She had 5 total turnovers. Both free throws missed. Bryant pulls down the rebound and gets fouled. And we are just delaying the inevitable. There's 47 seconds left in the game, and the Hawks will shoot free throws. Olivia Antilla commits her 3rd. So Bryant will shoot a couple. Well, we got 2 games left now for the women, and they are certainly playing their best basketball of the year. Last time they lost was at home against Norfolk State a couple weeks ago. Bryant hits the first. They followed that loss after, I should say, the preceding game. They had lost to Hampton as well. Those were, at the time, 2 teams that you thought the Hawks would split against. But UMES with a 61-45 lead here has definitely got things moving in the right direction. As now Wynn will shoot free throws.
do not understand why they're prolonging the game with both teams fouling.
Are you telling me you're a little annoyed, Dave? Fourth foul on Regine Martin. 61-45, and Wynn hits the free throw. We've got 41 seconds left in the game. Wynn's second shot up and good. 61-47. Sy in the backcourt, dribbles by King. Into trouble. Over to the left corner. And Martin holds it. 10-second difference between game and shot clock, and it seems like the Lady Rattlers finally got the message, and they'll lay off here for a moment. Sy has it top of the arc, 10 to shoot, 20 seconds to play. Brianna dribbled it off her foot, and a foul on Sy as she dove for the ball. Her third. So the Lady Rattlers will inbound it with 16 seconds left. Hawks by 14. Final 15 seconds about to tick away. Wynn from the top of the arc. They redirect a couple passes underneath. It's turned over. Thompson picks it away. And that's going to do it. Your final score here this evening, UMES 61, Florida A&M 47. I would say that was one of the more dominating wins that Fred Batchelor's group has put together all season long.
And the score really does not indicate how well we dominated and played that second half, because the last 2 or 3 minutes were kind of the garbage variety.
Yeah, I would say a little bit to that degree. Coach Batchelor will make his way over to us. Fourth consecutive win for the Lady Hawks. Congratulations to them. First time they've done that all season long. Fred waves to a loyal fan in the crowd. Makes his way over to us.
Right. I wish I could dress like him, I tell you that. Right?
You know, you got to look good to be able to do it.
Yeah, but that's true.
Fred Batchelor joins us here on our post-game show. Congratulations, Coach, your fourth straight win. And while the score and the stats maybe don't really reflect the effort in this one, I'm curious on your thoughts on the way your team came out of that locker room, and right after Florida A&M got a couple of quick baskets, then it was step on the jugular. You went on an 11-0 run.
I thought they played, I told them at halftime, I thought they played with really good energy. I thought they were focused, determined. You know, it's amazing what confidence does for you, you know, and the fact that, you know, this team was put in a real tough situation and having to play on Saturday and make this game up today, and then they got to go to Howard on Wednesday. This is a tough time. This tough way this works out for them, but I thought we took advantage of that and playing well at home.
Also, Fred, we dominated in the paint tonight, this evening. We're rotating all our big girls in there, and we scored at least 28 points in the paint. Was that the game plan going in?
Well, any game plan when the kids play well makes it look like a great game plan. You know, that's what we've been trying to do all year long, is take advantage of our size and get productive play from our posts. And when they hold their own or play a little bit better, our guards are taking care of business. You know, so when we get that type of effort, that type of output, I thought Lexi was really big, even in foul trouble on the defensive end. I thought she did a great job on the young lady, Olivera. I mean, she can really put the ball in the basket. And then, you know, number 11 is averaging 16 points a game, and she finished with 7. That was all at the line. Kiki Eaton continues to play the type of defense that we need on the best player on our floor on the other team, and that's what she's been doing all year long.
We made a couple of references to the fact that your recent success has had a lot to do with your guard play. Today just felt like a different kind of win because Byram didn't dominate in terms of the number of points she scored. Still had 7 rebounds, still had 5 assists. So in your eyes, is this kind of a win showing you that your team can win a different kind of a game?
We have to, because you can't expect the freshman to score 20 a night, you know, to win basketball games. I think if we needed her to score 20 a night, we would have got it. You know, that's just the type of kid she is. And I'm fortunate to have a player like that. But I think the fact that our post players, when they step up, it just gives us a really good all-around team solid win. And it doesn't rely on one kid to make a shot when we're playing well for 40 minutes.
I have to ask you before you go, what went through your mind when Taylor Thompson chucked up the 3 from the top of the arc.
Oh, Taylor's one of the best three-point shooters we have.
Oh, I know. I just saw.
Which one? The one that she took with 22 seconds on the shot clock? You know what? I'm dreaming of her be ready to shoot it. And she says, Coach, you always tell us don't take the last shot. I said, you know what? In this case, you're up 14, 16. I got you taking the shot. I said, if I'm a senior, you know what? Coach is going to be mad at me. And so I appreciate her thoughtfulness and being considerate to the fact of how we want to play. But I think Taylor Thompson has been the major contributor to our post play playing well. Not getting as many minutes as she probably should, because I think Kelly and Udoji are playing even better when she gives us good minutes. And maybe that's because they know that if they don't get it done, Taylor's going to get some of those minutes. And so they've all kind of stepped up. But I'm really pleased with the way with the production we've been getting from Taylor Thompson.
That was the most presidential intro I've ever heard.
Great. I'll tell you that.
Gotta love it. Congratulations. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Hawks win the ball game. Final score 61-47. We'll wrap it up in just a moment. This is the Hawks Sports Network from SFMSports.net.
The Hampton Inn and Suites Fruitland Salisbury South is passionate about getting it right. Their promise to you includes a clean, comfortable hotel room, located only 7.5 miles from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Also conveniently located within walking distance of 5 different restaurants, plus a shuttle service that can take you back and forth to the campus. Hampton Inn and Suites, an official hotel of UMES Athletics.
Peninsula Regional Medical Center is proud to be recognized as a national healthcare leader, delivering exceptional healthcare by exceptional people. The professional staff at PRMC is equipped to handle most injuries and illnesses that are non-life-threatening and can deliver immediate medical attention without an appointment. To get more information and up to the second wait times, visit peninsula.org. PRMC, proud to be the official healthcare provider of the UMES Hawks.
The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. 13 institutions, all striving as one to excel in the classroom and on the field. A premier Division I conference with 16 sponsored sports, showcasing the talents and strengths of our student athletes through hard work and perseverance. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
UMES Hawks basketball continues on SFMSports.net. Now, an in-depth recap of the game and a chat with the head coach. This is the All Access Postgame Show.
UMES with a 61-47 win over Florida A&M. The Lady Hawks win their